Hi, I'm Chuck Larson. Growing up, my parents were Yankees fans. They liked Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, Roger Maris. They had baseball cards of these players that they would take them and put them in the spokes of their bicycles and ride around the neighborhood. I guess they didn't care whether the cards got bent or lost or broke or torn. And indeed, they did lose them over the years. And when I came along and became a baseball card uh, fan and a baseball fan, I wanted so badly to get their cards, and I never could. Well, they also love poetry, and my mom used to share a poem with us about baseball. It's called Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer, and I thought I would share that with you today. It looked extremely rocky for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-6 with but an inning left to play. And so when Cooney died at first and Burroughs did the same, a pallor wreathed the features of the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go, leaving there the rest, with that hope that springs eternal within the human breast. For they thought, if only Casey could get a whack at that they'd bet even money with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, and likewise so did Blake. The former was a puddin', and the latter was a fake. And upon that stricken multitude, a death-like silence sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single to the wonderment of all, and Blakey, the much maligned, he ripped the cover off the ball. So when the dust had settled and they saw what had occurred, why, there was Blakey safe on second, with Flynn a huggin' third. Then up from the gladdened multitude there went up a joyful yell. It bounded from the mountain top and rattled in the dell. It struck upon the hillside and rebounded in the flat, for it was Casey, mighty Casey, coming to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into the plate. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile upon his face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat, no stranger in the crowd could doubt that was Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes upon him as he rubbed his hands with dirt, 5,000 tongues applauding as he wiped them on his shirt. And while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance gleamed from Casey's eye, and a sneer curled Casey's lip. Now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman the ball unheeded sped. "Ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the bleachers black with people there rose a sullen roar, like the beating of a storm wave on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" yelled someone from the stands. And it's likely they'd have done it hadn't Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult and he bade the game go on. So he signaled to the pitcher, and again the spheroid flew, but Casey still ignored it, and the umpire yelled, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" yelled the maddened thousands, and the echo answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the multitude was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. They saw and they knew that Casey would not let that ball go by again. Well, the sneer is gone from Casey's lips. His teeth are clenched with hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. Now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there ain't no joy in Mudville, 'cause mighty Casey has struck out.